So let's start with this. Lamar Jackson is the betting. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong story here. Let's move here to Aaron Rodgers. Fellas, it may be happening. Breaking news here. Aaron Rodgers has purchased an apartment in Upper West Side Manhattan.
Are you being for real?
I'm being for real. That's what's being reported.
Okay. I mean, he's a Jet. It's going to happen.
He went with the apartment, not the cave?
He went with, yeah, it's not dark. It is an actual
Darkness
apartment.
Chalet.
Where's the best cave at, Mike?
Okay.
In New York. He can live in the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly.
And can you get a slice delivered to that cave?
With the money he's going to be making, yes. Great. Like, I just want that deal to be done because him as a Jet is theater. It's perfect for what we do for a living. And he's out of the division. But we all believe he's a Jet. I mean, Woody Johnson, Salah, Joe Douglas, they all flew out there yesterday.
When the plane went to the West Coast, yeah.
It just feels like that's done. Now, what do you think Green Bay gets? 2 seconds?
No, I think if you're Green Bay, you'll settle for 2 seconds, but you probably went in there asking for a first.
They're not getting the first.
But if you gave me,
you asked.
If you gave me 2 seconds and a third, like in a couple of years, okay.
So let's do this today. We're going to go through some wide receivers in the NFL, and there's a lot of rumors regarding wide receivers. Let's start with Brandon Cooks in Houston. Multiple reports say multiple teams have expressed interest in the veteran. He's tired of going 11-38-1 in his career in Houston. What would you trade for Brandon Cooks?
Just for the record, so teams are interested in a guy who's been passed around like communion bread and has concussion issues, but they're not interested in Lamar Jackson.
Multiple teams, yes.
Right. I want nothing to do with him.
Yeah, but he's not going to cost you $250 million.
No, my point is he's quit on multiple teams. He has concussion problems. He's not a big wide receiver. And I just start to get worried when a guy, if you're so special, why are you on a new team every year? Patriots, Saints. He started with Texans. He started his career, New Orleans. He went to L.A. for 10 minutes. I'm out.
David, to me, I feel like wide receivers the same way you and Mike feel about running backs. I'm not breaking the bank for them. It's a dime a dozen position. Every year there's going to be a bunch of guys who come out in the draft that you've never heard of and are going to light it up on the sideline. Light it up on the field. Nothing.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep going up the list, and maybe we'll get to a wide receiver you're willing to trade for. Cortland Sutton for the Broncos is on the blocks. 64 receptions, 829 yards last year, 14 career touchdowns in his 5-year career. What would you give up for Cortland Sutton?
4th-round pick. Not interested.
I was going to say a 5th, but
not productive. Has gotten hurt.
If I got 2 4th-round picks, sure, you could have the second one.
Although I will say could be a buy low because the QB play in Denver has been horrific, in a word. 4th-round pick for me.
Next receiver, Alan Lazard is a hot commodity, according to NBC Sports' Matthew Berry.
Yeah.
That there are multiple teams, including the Chiefs and the Ravens, who are keen on him.
Wow.
What would you give up for him?
Well, the Ravens is a death sentence, so I don't like that for Alan. I like Alan Lazard. He's that big, physical perimeter wide receiver, and I just have a value for that. Those guys, you can't teach the size. It's just irreplaceable. So how old is Lazard now? Is he 26, 27? To me, Rico, while David's looking that up, don't you feel like unless you're elite, you're never talking a 1st-round pick? It's always going to be something in the mid-rounds for a veteran.
I like him. Once again, I'm going to have to take the Dave Chappelle route. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, my Lord.
Alan Lazard is 27.
I'm 4th-round pick.
Let's talk about this next receiver. It might be a reason why Kansas City may want Alan Lazard, because it says that Mecole Hardman, the Chiefs are going to let him walk. The market is expected to be somewhat strong for Hardman in free agency, reports say.
How? The guy can't walk.
He also can't walk. Yes, he's dealing with a pelvis injury.
He's never healthy, ever. For 3 straight years, all I've heard is how Mecole Hardman's going to blow up with the Chiefs. And it never happens.
And this was the year to do it, right? Because you lost.
So once again, robust market for guy who's a human body cast. No market for Lamar. And you tell me the owners aren't colluding.
I don't think it's really a robust market for.
David just said, what did he just say?
It says, reports say there's a robust market in free agency.
And David
for
does
Mecole
not
Hardman.
use words like robust in a laughing manner.
Yeah, we'll let the market play out when. Okay.
And then
He's signing with an XFL team.
One last receiver to go over here, and it is Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins. It says the Cardinals have parameters in place for the wide receiver, states a second-round pick and a conditional pick
Hard
in
pass.
return for him.
Hard pass.
Now, based off of what he does on the field, that is one where, yes, on the field, I'd pay the price. Because I know what I'm getting with him.
Out. Awful locker room. Don't want it. Selfish and gone. You can have him.
Aren't most good receivers selfish?
I don't care. I don't want him. I've heard enough. I don't want him. Not from you. I'm saying I've heard enough about him. I don't. I'm out.
So this next story is
you can take it to 6 if you want.
No, I didn't. That's why I corrected myself. I know how that sounded.
This next story is for you, Rico, because I was reading a CBS Sports article, and it came up with bold trades that need to happen. And this trade involves your 49ers.
Ooh.
Kirk Cousins to the 49ers. The Vikings will be getting a third-round pick and a 2024 second-rounder. Are you willing to give that up for Kirk Cousins to be your quarterback?
Wait, say that again.
The Vikings would get, so the 49ers would give the Vikings a third-round pick this year, second-round pick next year.
No, because here's the story. I'd rather go out and get a rental QB for the season and just wait on Brock Purdy to come back in 2 seasons and see what happens.
But even harder is Brock Purdy. He may not be that good.
He may not, David, but at least I saw him doing some stuff, okay? I'd go get a Teddy Bridgewater for a year and just roll the dice and see what happens. No, that's way too much for Cousins.
So let's have a quick conversation real quick regarding the Las Vegas Raiders here in a quarterback situation. They are drafting at 7, so they're not close enough to get one of the top quarterbacks. And a rumor I've seen all offseason is that they may trade for Mac Jones. Aaron Rodgers was rumored to go there. Doesn't look like that's happening. Could you?
Yeah, I can
Scale
see
of
that.
1 to 10. Mac Jones being traded to the Raiders?
You know what? I'll give it an 8. I'd never thought of it before, but I think his days in New England are done.
There are times, honestly, teams like the Raiders make me believe that I could run a team better. And I'm nobody. I swear to you. The Raiders make you believe a fan could run a team. Like, what was the movie where Whoopi Goldberg coached the Knicks?
Eddie?
Like, they are that movie where I could take a fan and they could not do worse than what Raiders management has done over basically the last 20 years.
GM bot, where, you just plug in numbers and...
Mac Jones. So you let Derek Carr go to trade for Mac Jones. That's the play. That's the plan.
You don't have to pay Jones.
He's
that
familiar
much.
with Jones.
Okay.
I'm just saying, he's still under the rookie deal.
Great. That's super.
I can see it. I would put it at an 8 out of 10.
Trading with the Patriots is always a fruitful experience.
But it makes sense for the Raiders, and it makes sense for everybody. You don't have a QB right now, and you're not going to break the bank.
Oh, my God.
And then let's close it out with this. And I'm doing this
Raiders
for Kenny. I want to help him out because there's a ton of Lions fans calling about Derrick Henry. Let's talk about his betting odds on PointsBet for his next landing spot. The Dolphins and the Bengals are tied for the favorite at plus 400. And then you have the Chiefs, Bills, Eagles coming in at plus 500. Bears, Broncos, Falcons plus 800. Lions are at plus 1,000 with the Ravens.
Go ahead, Rico.
The best landing spot for Derrick Henry.
I mean, with the line, you can put him on the Eagles, and, man, it'll be pick your poison.
Miles Sanders is a free agent.
So's Boston Scott.
Correct.
I mean, I would probably say the Eagles.
I'll go Atlanta. I like Arthur Smith's running game. He's a former Tennessee OC. He designed that scheme that launched Henry's career.
No, okay.
And
give Desmond Ritter a running game.
Get Desmond Ritter the hell out of Atlanta and get a real QB in there. But yes,
Lamar.
It's the match made in heaven, but Atlanta came out and went, no, we don't want herpes. I'm like, okay. Everyone is treating Lamar like an STD. It's unbelievable.
Don't know who really wants herpes, but all right.
That's the point I'm making. Like, these teams that desperately need quarterbacks are treating him like he's poison.
David, I got one more for you before we wrap this up.
Real quick, yeah.
You guys remember the Michael? Well, do you remember the Michael Irvin story?
Yes.
Apparently, two gentlemen who were in the lobby in Phoenix have come out and said, yeah, Michael Irvin did nothing inappropriate. It was a brief encounter. They didn't see anything between the interaction with him and that woman. So just an update on that whole Michael Irvin story.
And remember, that's where he was sent home from NFL Network coverage. There was this big kerfuffle. He called into a radio show the next day. It was kind of chaotic, and then it went under the radar because the actual Super Bowl.
He's filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Jane Doe and the Marriott International Hotel.
Good. Yeah. I mean, the accusations made, it damaged his reputation. It damaged his employment. Yeah, good. Sort it out in court. Go ahead. What else? If he's truly...
Well, no, I'm saying. You got two gentlemen who came out and was like, yeah, we saw the whole thing, and yeah, they put their names to it and said, yeah, that did not happen.
Yeah, something to pay attention to, and that is in football today.